Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, Monday morning. It is now September 28th, 2020. I'm the man they call Meathead, and Monday morning only means one thing. Lovely, ladylike, luxurious, luscious, not lascivious, because I tried that one the last time, but it's a lovely Linda K. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. I'm liking all these L's. We've got to... Is this the thing? We're going to have to keep thinking of other adjectives with L?
As long as you don't go lunatic on me.
Oh, or ludicrous.
Right. I couldn't stand the lunacy. I'm going to have a thesaurus next to me next time. We had a big night last night, and this is a bit of a spoiler alert, folks. Usually we brag about Packer wins on Monday morning. We both are recording this Sunday night. We had to pause it at the end of the third quarter, so there will be no Packer talk here today because we're going to tape this thing, put this in the can, and go back to the damn game.
Sure.
But let's talk about the big event that happened last night, the one that you're listening to. It's Clash of Champions. And Linda, I have a bone to pick.
Do tell.
Every championship was supposed to be defended, right?
Yes.
Where's the women's tag team champions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I
Didn't
miss
they
them
have a
in the
match?
pre-show? Or, yeah, it was supposed to be
Nope.
them in the Riot Squad.
Yep. Where'd that match go?
Maybe they were pressed for time?
Pressed for time?
Maybe back when, but now obviously with the network, they can obviously go past the whatever hour mark. But yeah,
Right.
that's pretty surprising. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody, may have been sick and couldn't compete, I guess they could have gone the route that they did with Nikki Cross, which we'll get into, but
Yeah. And that's
I
the
don't know.
difference right there between, say, WWE and AEW. AEW will just come right out and tell you.
Yeah.
Folks, we should have had this match. Here's what's going on with competitors. They're quarantining or whatever. Cool. Gotcha, bro. See you in 2 weeks. AEW had that happen on last Wednesday night show where it was supposed to be, that big 6-man tag. Lance is at home. He's self-quarantining. We'll see him in 2 weeks. So here's Eddie Kingston with a title shot. Cool. I like it. Sounds good. And it made, sense because it went into he never got eliminated from the match. That was absolutely glorious. But let's talk about last night. And again, when Matthew and I ran it down Friday morning, I said, you know what? I know they're saying the kickoff match is going to be Asuka and Zelina Vega. It won't. I don't care what the website says. It won't. They'll change it at the last second. Last night's kickoff match was not Asuka and Zelina Vega. It was the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, defeating the Lucha House Party. Lucha. Your thoughts on this match? Really no points for anybody in this one in our PWR draft, but what'd you think of the match?
I enjoyed it. I mean, we saw weeks leading up, just a little bit of shenanigans backstage in the ring. We got the singles matches with both tag teams, and it was a nice way to sum it up, if it is going to be the conclusion of the little rivalry that's been taking place. But I wasn't surprised with Cesaro and Nakamura retaining. I feel like they need to kind of build on that, let them become stronger tag team champions, let them mesh a little bit more. I mean, I think they're already a great tag team, but let's them keep growing as champions.
I do believe that this is still the Forgotten Sons era. I think there was a huge program that was supposed to happen for them. Now, they're probably out of that window now because, they write the stuff obviously months in advance. I think that this was the Forgotten Sons era right here, and that's why we got Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura as tag team champions kind of filling in that void.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, it did just, end suddenly. So, if one door shuts, you got to quickly come up with another. So,
and we'll talk about Bayley talking about opening doors and shutting doors later on tonight too.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. So we got a pre-show appearance from Sami Zayn and him and his neckbeard starting to get in the face of Booker T, getting in the face of what's the deal with Muffin on the pre-show? I mean, you got Booker and you got JBL, and then you got Muffin. I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, pre-show's just the precursor to the main show, so all goes. I guess I don't know.
Yes. But what they were leading into with Muffin, JBL, and Booker T, they were talking about how the opening match was going to be the triple threat, both championships both versions of the Intercontinental Championship would be hanging in the air. Ladders are going to be needed to go get those, and you have to acquire both belts to become the champion. Sami Zayn saying he is the uncrowned champion. Technically, he never lost the belt. AJ Styles says he should have never lost the belt because Jeff Hardy cheated, and Jeff Hardy is the official recognized champion, also on team, they call them Meatheads, going into this match. An amazing match. A lot of great spots. And Mr. Neckbeard himself, Mr. The Great Liberator. Sami Zayn is the new and old, but remember, don't call him the new. He's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, just the way the match transpired. I mean, the high spots and just like some of those ladder shots and how it just fell on something, or like how it, like they said, almost split Jeff Hardy in half. And then, of course, the dive off that ladder onto Sami. I mean, that was
the head explosion emoji that I got in text, right? Head blown.
Yeah, that was tremendous. I mean, classic Jeff Hardy. I mean, that was great to see. And gosh, I mean, how many stunts can this man take in his career? My goodness.
And how many handcuffs is he going to have through his gauges?
That too. Okay, so that was what I was going to get to. Like, how clever was that scenario in this match? That's not one I would have thought of. And even Michael Cole said, in the 24 years I've called matches or been part of the industry, I've never seen that. I'm fine with the big ear gauge things. I like that look on if it works for certain people, but every time they involve that, it still gives me the little heebie-jeebies. Like, remember when Randy Orton stuck his finger in? I'm like, oh my God, like, how far are they going to go with this? I'm like, don't tear it, don't tear it. And then the way he brought it back into the ring, I'm like, oh my God, please be careful. But anywho, I had to watch back when Sami handcuffed himself, because at first I was thinking like, oh wow, it miraculously just handcuffed, on its own when AJ, turned him, but then it was part of his move. Like, how clever. So that was neat to see. I mean, I love all three contenders, but I really wasn't sure who was going to come off on top. Honestly, like, I was thinking Jeff would have the edge just because it was a ladder match, but Sami Zayn coming off with both titles and now declared as the official Intercontinental Champion.
But don't say it to him, because he's always been Intercontinental Champion, and now that conspiracy is over. Yes. There's no more story there. We got to move on to the new story.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next match as well. The next match is going to be the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, defeating your girl from Team Longtime, Zelina Vega, who was, she's small, but a firecracker.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Love that about her. It was great getting her in the spotlight and showing that she could be a great contender for the championship. I don't know. I think a lot of us felt that Asuka would retain, so I guess it wasn't too much of a shock for me with Asuka still retaining that title. Right. But we got to see that spotlight. And then at the very end, that shows, hey, maybe we jumped into this too quick, putting in Zelina and Asuka. Now we can try to build on it again, and you got to see a rematch coming, right?
I'd see it coming, but I mean, the young lady from the team they call Meatheads, Asuka, winning and retaining in this title match for the Raw Women's Championship. The Raw Tag Team Champions, also on team they call Meatheads, the Street Profits, defeating a team that actually now is together without Zelina Vega, Andrade and Angel Garza. Dave Hero with Andrade, myself with Angel Garza. The Street Profits, and probably the best scenario for us in the PWR draft was a Street Profits retain, because even if they lost and I won, I'd have to share those points with Dave, but points just for me. So the Profits retain over Andrade and Garza in a controversial finish.
Yeah, I had to watch that back as well. And I mean, does this mean that we get another match probably on Raw tonight? Like, I don't know. That was interesting how that ended.
But it did end in a double appearance for my girl from the Meatheads, Asuka, with a second title opportunity against Bayley, my champion from the SmackDown side. Ding dong, hello.
Yeah, but that went with me losing my girl, Nikki Cross, on the pay-per-view, which she should have been a part of for this title match.
Correct. No points for Team Longtime on that one. And again, if you want to talk perfect scenarios for a PWR draft, not that you guys listen for that, but Asuka gets a win, but she doesn't get an extra appearance. Bayley gets the title defense, but she doesn't get the win. So there's points on points on points. Again, folks, those 2 pay-per-views in a row where I didn't score anything, we knew that it was all an aberration. I'm back to doing what I do. Bayley keeps the belt after losing by DQ to Asuka. Now, the real story here is Sasha Banks, in her soft collar, goes after Bayley and even pulls out the kendo stick.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, again, we talked about how bad that initial attack on Sasha was. Maybe should have left her off a little longer, but at least she did come out looking hot in that outfit.
Yeah,
but
she's still selling.
But at least she still had that collar, and Bayley got some good kicks on her too. That like if her neck was really really hurt, but
I've never been so into a girl with a neck collar than I was tonight. She looked amazing.
Well, yes, she did, and that blue title would look perfect with her blue hair. She didn't get to have the blue title before, so I think it's coming our way sometime soon.
Well, and let's talk about that real quick. Let's stop with matches real quick. And there was an announcement in the pay-per-view last night that we had the Raw Draft is coming. The Raw Draft starts Friday, October 9th on SmackDown. The Raw SmackDown, I believe NXT is probably going to be involved in this as well. Last year's draft was probably one of my more fun drafts because you had technically the executives of the networks drafting for each team. You had people from Fox, people from USA drafting for NXT and Raw and SmackDown. We've got a shakeup. It's time to shake things up again.
Yes, it is. It is time. We finally have the Thunderdome and just all eyes back on WWE.
Wait, all eyes on me? All eyes on me.
Well, I said
call
WWE.
Back to Candice Michelle there.
Yes.
WWE Champion Drew McIntyre on Team Meatheads, of course, defends and retains the Raw Universal Championship against Randy Orton in an ambulance match. The cool thing that they did here, and I think this puts a button on this whole little program as well, the line that Cole had was probably the best line I've heard out of him in a while. I mean, in my 24 years line is great too. But he goes, Randy Orton's summer of mayhem or whatever is all coming back to haunt him. I failed on his line, but it was something like that. His summer of actions are all coming back to him. Everybody that he went after came after him during this match, including at the end, Ric Flair driving off in the ambulance.
With a good old woo to top it off.
I'm surprised he didn't drive over the door because, the whole time that they're sitting there, I'm like, all right, if you pull forward, you're going to cut the tire. If you pull forward, you're going to cut the tire. Yeah. Does Rick know? Oh, it's Rick. Does Rick know to turn the wheel? Turn the wheel. Get the door out of there. It was driving me nuts. It was, my OCD or ADD or ABC or whatever it is was yelling about the door.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on how this match kind of progressed throughout the building and went back into catering, Damian Nelson's favorite spot.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I loved that they did show us more of the Thunderdome, and that was the most loveliest catering setup I've ever seen them have. But lo and behold, I forgot to mention Big Show first.
Well,
and he was perhaps manscaped himself because his face was quite smooth. Anyways, well, I know we'll get to that soon, but we got the appearance by Big Show putting Orton through the table, and then in catering we saw Christian coming in. I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And then next we got the sweet chin music off the top of the ambulance by Shawn Michaels with the classic "Suck It." That's always great.
And then he pushed them off. Get off.
Yes, that too. Yes. So that was great to see. And then of course, the match itself between Drew and Randy, very brutal. We got we've seen a lot of windshields being smashed lately, and that was, we saw the cuts on Drew's back. So like, all right, that did some work on him. And then I did like how Drew had to pull Randy back out to give him the extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
That's
nice.
The button.
To see too.
That's the button on it right there.
Pretty much, yeah. And then of course, seeing Ric Flair to close it off. But I did want to see Edge though, because that's what I was waiting for. And then I forgot about Shawn. I forgot about Rick. I was waiting for Edge.
Yeah, that would have been an appearance for Drew Baydala, but no Edge. Maybe Edge is not physically able to perform. Again, where's the Women's Tag Team Championship match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just add it on to Raw, but that's it was an advertised match. They were part of the promo like that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely they were, because every title has to be defended. And then throughout the night, you heard Michael say,
"Oh, sorry, go ahead."
Oh, this is going to say you heard Michael Cole say throughout the night, all titles will be defended, and then he changed it to every match will be a title match. That's just a slight little thing. You were saying the 24/7 match, your boy?
Yeah, so I was going to say, like, even that one was defended.
Twice.
Yeah. So.
Best line out of R-Truth all night. After he beats Gulag, you should have had a V8. Oh, R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth's a bona fide Hall of Famer. He could stop today and honestly put Truth in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that dude is entertaining. I don't care that he's never won the big match. He's done it. R-Truth deserves to be in the Hall of Fame just for
all the years,
just for this run.
And then for the 20. But hey, I mean, still, a record-setting title reign. Got to give him that.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, the Universal Championship. Excuse me, I called Drew McIntyre as the Universal. That was the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion, and he is going up against his cousin, Jesus, Jey Uso. And this one got weird at the end to me. One, I don't mind that Roman got his teeth bleached, which is cool. It looks good. I mean, his teeth look real good. They're pearly white. He got a TV look going there. But that's okay. It got weird at the end. We saw Jimmy come down to help try to stop the beating. I loved what they did with Roman. Call me Chief, name me Chief. And then Jay, he actually came down with, I don't know if that's a lei or what that was that he had around his neck. But at the end, he took his lei, put it around his neck and said, I'm the Chief. I'm the tribal leader. I love this build of Roman Reigns and where it's going right now.
Absolutely. It's just building and building as a heel. I mean, the way SmackDown ended, that was tremendous. I loved it. I actually had to watch it back a couple times. I was like, ooh, it did give me the feels. Just because right before that, too, the way he was just so soft-spoken and just so calm. And every promo he's done since returning, and then all of a sudden, bam, we got that.
Yeah.
We got that emotion, got that heel, from Roman. And that was great to see tonight, too. I mean, he continued on with that. So, his character is just growing and growing. He's got Paul Heyman at his side to help escalate that.
Paul Heyman yelling out, "You're the tribal chief."
I know. That was good.
From you.
Yeah. But the way that when Jimmy was out there with that towel, I'm like, oh my God, what if he punches his brother? We didn't know where that would go at that point. I was thinking no, could that happen? But obviously he came in and Roman got the win, and
it was the Ivan Drago moment, is what it was. Mm-hmm. It was Rocky IV all over again.
Yeah, and then
where Jimmy was Rocky and Jay was Apollo Creed, and Roman Reigns was Ivan Drago.
Yes, and we, in the end, we got Jimmy telling Roman, "You're the chief. You're the head of the table."
Right. Now, you pass the biscuits? That's what we needed at the end there. It was a good pay-per-view. I really enjoyed the show. I'm looking forward to Raw tonight. Again, maybe we'll get a women's tag team match that should have been on a pay-per-view. But I'm more so looking forward to October 9th now. One, it's my oldest daughter's birthday. She'll be turning 7 on October 9th. It's a big day around this house. Mm-hmm. But, I'm also looking forward to the draft. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Maybe they'll clean up the Miz Otis issue with the Money in the Bank contract.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Otis cashes in.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, kind of forgot about, the whole cash-in taking, like, that it can take place during a SmackDown or during a Raw.
It can take place anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Well, that was a hot and fast and crisp 20-ish. I think we're good. Folks, again, sorry about the spoiler, but we got to go watch this Packer game real quick here. So, for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, folks, also remember to stop by our sponsors, Manscaped.com. As Linda mentioned earlier, the Big Show only needs one, and that's a lot of hairy shaving. That's 7,000 RPMs. Manscaped.com, PWR is your promo code. Get yourself 20% off and free shipping. And those animal t-shirts are flying off the shelves over at collarandelbowbrand.com. PWR360, 10% off there. If you buy an animal shirt, I know that 100% of the proceeds are going to his family. So let's take care of them, okay? Get yourself an animal, a collar and elbow brand t-shirt. For Linda K, I'm the man they call Meathead. Thanks for stopping by. So long.